So you probably are just a day away from your GCSE math exam and have not understood a single word in the class when your teacher tried explaining functions with 20 different slides for 4 hours and you have no fucking clue where to start. But don't worry, I got you. So if you want to learn about functions in the last minute, trust me, this is the only video you need to watch. So let's go. Alright, let's start with the basics. So what is a function? Simply put, it is the relationship between an input and an output. So every input that you give results in a corresponding output. For example, let's look at the function here. Let's say we have f of x equal to 4x minus 8. So this is an example of a function. Now, depending on the input that you give, the output is going to vary. So for example, let's say x equal to 2. In this case, 4 into 2 minus 8. So the output of the function is going to be 0. Similarly, let's take x equal to 3 this time. So in this case, you have 4 into 3 minus 8, which is 12 minus 8, which is 4. So this is the output. So based on the input that you give, the output is going to vary. We use complex mathematical functions all the time. Functions are actually the building blocks for designing machines, predicting natural disasters, curing diseases, understanding world economies, and keeping airlines in the air. Now, there are several kinds of functions, but the only two you should be bothered about are composite and inverse functions. So, a composite function is basically one that is made up of two or more functions, where the output of one is the input of the other. So here we have f of x equal to 3x squared plus 4 and g of x equal to 2x, and you're asked to find out f of g of x. Now this is a composite function, so pay close attention to how I'm going to solve this sum, because this is exactly how you're going to do it in your exam if you come across a composite function. So here it starts with f, and inside the bracket you have g of x. So always start with the function that appears the last. So here you have g of x. So let's start with g of x. Here g of x is 2x. Now you have to substitute g of x into f. So let's do the same. F of x is 3. Now instead of x, we're going to put 2x because that is what the function g of x is. So we're going to write 2x whole square plus 4, which is 6x squared plus 4. So this is f of g of x. Next up we have inverse function or an anti-function. So this is a function that undoes the action of a given function. So for example, let's say you have f of x equal to 8x minus 1. So this is a normal function. Now let's say you're asked to find out the inverse of this function. So first of all, the way you denote an inverse function is by writing it this way, f inverse of x. Now the way you solve it is a little tricky, so pay attention. Now f of x is 8x minus 1. Let me just equate it to an alphabet y. You can take another alphabet if you wish, but I'm taking y. So 8x minus 1 equal to y. So the first step that you do is isolate x and take everything else to the other side. So what I mean is you take x on one side and remaining everything goes to the other side, like this. The second step is to switch the alphabets. So instead of x, write y, and instead of y, write x. So it's going to look something like this. Y is equals to x plus 1 by 8. Now there you go. This is your f inverse of x. So that is how you find an inverse function, just in 2 simple steps. Now that you know the theory of it, let's try solving some questions. Oh, and by the way, these are actual past paper questions, so don't be surprised if you see them in your exam. Alright, the question that you see on the screen right now appeared in paper 4, May-June 2021. So yeah, let's try to see how to solve it. So the first question is f of minus 5. This is fairly a simple question. All you have to do is take the function f of x. In that, instead of x, just substitute minus 5. Let's do that here. So it is 3 minus 2x, that is the function f of x. Now here, instead of x, substitute minus 5, you get 3 plus 10, which is 13. Next, find f of x. Give your answer in its simplest form. Okay, so here you're supposed to find a composite function in which you have two functions and both of them are f of x. So all you have to do is take f of x and substitute it in f of x. So that would be 3 minus 2x. This is our function f of x. Now to find f of x, you just have to substitute x with the function. So that would be 3 minus 2 into 3 minus 2x, which is 3 minus 6 plus 4x. So that would be 4x minus 3. That is f of x. Next, we have solve g of x equal to f of x plus 37. So this is pretty straightforward. Take the value of g of x and f of x. They both are given in the question. G of x is x square plus 5. F of x is 3 minus 2x plus 37. So take all the terms to one side. So that would be x square plus 5 minus 3 plus 2x minus 37 equal to 0. So that is x square plus 2x minus 35 equal to 0. So now you got a quadratic equation. Just expand it so you get the roots. So I'm going to expand the middle term 2x as 7x minus 5x minus 35 equal to 0. So that would be x plus 7 minus 5 into x plus 7 equal to 0. So that's x plus 7 into x minus 5 equal to 0. So from here we get the value of x is minus 7 and from here we get the value as plus 5. So those are the two values of x. Next we have find f inverse of x. So here you just have to find the inverse function. So I already explained how to do it. Let's do it once again. So here we have f of x as 3 minus 2x. The first thing that you do is equate this to an alphabet, to another variable. So I'm going to take 3 minus 2x equal to y. That's the first thing. The second thing is take x on one side and everything else on the other side. So isolate x. That's the second step. So when you do that, you get x equal to 3 minus y by 2. The last step is just to switch the alphabet. So instead of x, write y. Instead of y, write x. So that would be y equal to 3 minus x by 2. That's it. There you go. This is the value of f inverse of x in just 3 simple steps. Next we have find h of f of x plus g of x. Okay, the first thing is let's find h of f of x. This is a composite function. Now the thing that you have to remember when you're solving a composite function is the order of the functions. So here what we are supposed to do is take the value of f of x and then substitute it in h of x. Now if you do not follow this order, or in other words, if you take h of x and substitute it in f of x, this would give you a completely wrong answer, a different answer. So do not do this. Always start from the last function. Here f of x is towards the right? So start from the right. So f of x, take that value and substitute it in h of x. So let's do that. So f of x is 3x minus 2, h of x is x cube. We are substituting this in this, so that's going to be basically 3x minus 2 whole cube. So this is pretty much like a minus b whole cube. So if you know the formula, it's basically a cube minus 3a square b plus 3ab square minus b cube. So yeah, use the same formula and expand this bracket, 3x minus 2 whole cube. And when you do that, you get 27 minus 54x plus 36x square minus 8 cube. So this is h of f of x. But we're not done with the sum yet because we have to add this with g of x. So let's do that here. So to this, I am going to add g of x, which is x square plus 5. So when you solve it and simplify it, you get 32 minus 54x plus 37x square minus 8x cube as the answer. Here we have another past paper question, so let's try to solve it. The first question here is to find f of 2. This is again very simple. Take f of x and instead of x just substitute 2. So this is f of x. So here I'm going to take 2 instead of x. So I get 6 minus 2, which is 4 as my answer. Next, find out g of 2. G of 2, again use the same logic. You have 5x minus 7 as g of x. So g of 2 would simply be 5 into 2 minus 7, that is 10 minus 7. So the answer is 3. Next, find out g of f of 2. So here the first thing that you do, since it's a composite function, always start from the right. So on the right hand side you have f of 2, right? So first figure out what f of 2 is. We already know the value of f of 2 is 4. Take that value and substitute it in the function g. So I'm going to take 5x minus 7, which is g. Now instead of x, I'm going to substitute 4 here because that is my value of f of 2. So that is going to be 5 into 4 minus 7, which is 20 minus 7. So the answer is 13. Next, we have find f inverse of x. So this is an inverse function that you're doing. So yeah, the first thing that you do is f of x is equal to 3x minus 2. Take it equated to an alphabet. I'm taking y. Substitute, now isolate x, take everything else on the other side. So you get x is equals to 4 plus 2 by 3. The last step is just to switch the alphabets. So I'm going to write y equal to x plus 2 by 3. So that's it. This is my value of f inverse of x in 3 simple steps. Next, we have find h of f of x, giving your answer in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So here this is a composite function, and always again start from the right. So you're going to take f of x first and then substitute it in h of x. So f of x is going to be substituted in h of x. So let's do that. F of x here in the question, it's 3x minus 2, and you're going to substitute it in h of x, which is x squared plus x. So let's do that. So that would be 3x minus 2 whole square plus 3x minus 2, and when you open the bracket you get 9x square plus 4 minus 12x plus 3x minus 2, and when you simplify it you get 9x square minus 9x plus 2 equal to 0. This is exactly what they've asked. They've asked you to represent the answer in the form of ax square plus bx plus c. Next, find x when j inverse x is equals to 4. So this is, you just have to find the inverse function of j and equate it to 4. That's what you're supposed to do. So let's try doing that. J of x in the question is given to be 3 power x. Now you first find out the value of j inverse of x. So that would be basically 3 power x. Let's equate it to y. Next, let's take log on both the sides so that we get rid of the power x. So this would be log y, and you get x log 3 equal to log y. Take log 3 on the other side, you get log y to the base 3. Yeah, so this is j inverse of, wait, you need to switch the alphabets. So let's do that. So that is y equal to log x to the base 3. Yeah, so this is j inverse of x. Now they've asked you to equate it to 4 so that you find the value of x. So let's do that. Log x to the base 3 equated to 4. Get rid of the log, you get x equal to 3 power 4. So x equal to 81 basically. Next we have simplify j inverse of j of x. This is again pretty simple. This is a combination of inverse as well as composite function. So let's see how to do that. So j inverse of j of x is simply take j inverse j of x and substitute it in j inverse of x. So j of x is basically 3 power x, and j inverse of x, as we have seen in the previous question, it is log x to the base 3. So let's do that. Now all you have to do is take j of x 3 power x and substitute it in the place of x. So I'm going to write log 3 power x to the base 3, which is x log 3 to the base 3, which is basically x into 1, which is x. So that's the value of j inverse of j of x.